न विरक्तो न संघवान् न मुमुक्षु नावमुक्तो न किंचित् न च किंचन. The wise one is neither happy nor miserable, neither attached nor unattached, neither liberated nor aspiring for liberation. He is neither this nor that. Let us go to the root cause of the dualities expressed in this verse. Happiness and misery, or joy and sorrow. The flow goes like this. The sequence ending in happiness and misery or misery goes like this. First comes the ego, the I-ness. Then comes the enjoyership, mindness. And then comes the jiva looking towards the world to satisfy his mindness. And then comes desire for some objects or beings towards satisfying his mindness. And then comes pursue these objects or relationships, pursue to possess. And then comes undertaking actions in this pursuit. And then comes the result of his pursuit. Depending upon whether the result is positive or negative, the jiva is filled with happiness or sorrow. Next referred is attached or unattached. Upon looking for objects, the flow is the same as above. After that, the objects that seem to satisfy his mindness, towards those objects he gets attached. The objects which do not seem to be satisfying his mindness or seem to be against his liking, he gets unattached. In other words, those objects or relations which appear to go along with his vasanas about himself, he gets attached towards them. Similar liking in life, similar liking in sports, similar liking in approach, etc. Or objects or beings whose quality appear to me striking, which I should love to possess, though I do not possess such quality. They appeal to me as a magical mystery, even though I may never be able to exist like that as of now. I get attached to such objects or human beings. If we observe keenly, the root cause of all this is the ego, the I-ness, the smaller I. Needless to say, the one who shines with unearthly glow of perfection, who ever exists as infinite bliss self, has no ego in him, and hence these dualities are not relevant for him, and he need not ever be way, or he never will get into these dualities in terms of joy or sorrow, attaching or unattaching. The third and the ultimate, the penultimate duality mentioned is liberated or aspiring for liberation. Aspiring for liberation is, of course, not there in the one who is already liberated. One does not aspire for anything after getting that, attaining that eternally. And how about the sense of being liberated? This is also not there in a Jivan Mukta. For feeling that I am liberated, I must have in the back of my sattvic mind my earlier days of bondage. When one gets liberated, the pre-liberation days, the struggle, the bondage, etc., get wiped out from his vasanas, his memory totally. So if I was never bound, that means there is no reason for me to feel that I am liberated from my previous bondage. Unable to describe the state of such a mystical stage, Ashtavakra concludes by saying, he is neither this nor that. In this and that, he leaves it to us to include whatever we can. In this and that. The sage from the Ananda Kutir says, this is from the Moksha Gita, Chapter 10. The Guru said, this is the verse, a Jivan Mukta who has reached the imperishable Turiya state can never be affected by the pairs of opposites. He always rests in his own Satchit Ananda Swarupa. He roams about happily. Commentary on this, portion of the commentary on this, a Jivan Mukta is a sage who is liberated from bondage even while living with the body. The egoism of a Jivan Mukta is like a burnt cloth, which has got the appearance of the cloth but is actually reduced to the state of ashes. Even while living with the body, the Jivan Mukta identifies his consciousness with Brahman and is not affected by the pairs of opposites and the forces of nature. The whole universe is his body, for he is in tune with all forces of nature due to his transcending all phenomenon activities, phenomenal relativities, and resting in Brahman consciousness at all times. Let us see from the commentary if there is anything to add to this. Acharya writes, even the most voluminous classic in Vedanta, Yoga Vashishta, when it comes to the point of explaining the mental attitude and inner experience of the liberated in life, loudly despairs and says, when the mind leaves perceptions and delusions ignorance and illusions, it becomes immediately to rest in some inexplicable and unique state. The last line, to some inexplicable and unique state, is what is echoed in the last line by Janaka when he says, he is neither this nor that. Na kinchit, na cha kinchana. Hari Om Tat Sat.